Good morning. This is Tracey from Nova Scotia Living. I just sent two of my girls off to catch the bus. The bus will be coming along anytime now. They got their snow pants on and all buttoned up good. Anyways, let's get our baking on. Today we're going to be making some from scratch dinner rolls for supper. Alright, I broke out my the Cook's Organizer book I've had for years. That's held together with good old duct tape. Can't go wrong with that. But first things first, the rest of my house is still asleep, so I'm going to take advantage and have a coffee undisturbed and binge on a bit of YouTube for a minute. Then we'll get cracking. Just checking my sauerkraut before we start our baking. It's looking good. I don't think I even need some more brine. I got to get a plate on this one and I'll put it back on the shelf for another couple of days. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you the ingredients we're going to use today. And first off, I want to say welcome again, and that I got this recipe from Charlie the Cook Andrews off of YouTube. He's from New Orleans and I've watched a few of his videos. He's a really cool guy, so check him out. I'll put his link down below. So this is the recipe that I got from him. So as you know, if you watched my previous videos, I always double the recipe, but I'll read off the original recipe, and then as I mix them together, I'll tell you what I'm doing. So I'm just going to double what's here, well, except for the eggs, but you'll see. So the original recipe calls for 3.5 cups of flour, a 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of yeast. That's for the dry ingredients. The wet ingredients is 1 cup of milk, 1 stick of butter, which is like a 1/2 cup of butter, melted, and 2 eggs, 2 large eggs. But again, I have 4 here because I'm doubling the recipe. And I also want to say that when I bake, I use powdered milk and I mix it up myself. So I'll insert a clip of me doing that here. Alright, I just showed you guys how we mixed all the dry ingredients together, but then I was about to do the wet ingredients, and when I bake, I often use skim milk. Well, it doesn't have to be skim, but that's just what I have. Like the powdered milk, and I mix it up myself, and I started to mix it, and then I stopped. I'm thinking, I'll just show you guys what I do. So this kind, this is the kind I just got at Walmart, but you can use any kind. And it is skim milk powder, which it was on sale, and that's what I got. And it's 4 tablespoons of the skim milk powder for 1 cup of water. And I already mixed, there's 2 cups of water in here because I'm doubling this bread dough recipe. But here's the other 4 tablespoons. And you just mix it up, and the milk is good to go. I used warm water because the recipe calls for like lukewarm water. And I just thought I'll use warm water. So I don't have to heat it on the stove or in the microwave or anything. But it looks just like regular milk. And we're going to use that. So, alright, let's move on to finish mixing the wet ingredients. And now, you just seen how I mix that together. It's really easy, and it just saves on the consumption of milk in my house for drinking or whatever. And it's really affordable if you can get it on sale. It'll last all year long or for months and months without, dipping into your daily, milk supply. So anyways, let's move over to the stand mixer. You can do this by hand, and I've done this by hand. I've never done it with a stand mixer. He does it with a stand mixer, and I just got the stand mixer for the holidays. I mean, it's March now, but I just haven't made homemade rolls since then. And I'm going to do it with a stand mixer, but believe me, you can do it by hand and it turns out perfect. I'll insert a picture of that here. And you'll be able to see how they turned out. They look fabulous, and they were gobbled up in no time. So we'll move over and start mixing up the ingredients. Alright guys, let's get this started. I just had to take a little break because my baby boy woke up. I had to give him breakfast. So we're going to start mixing up the dry ingredients. So first of all, I'm going to put I'm using 1/2 cup of sugar. And then I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of instant yeast. Sugar kind of acts as a food for the yeast, so it's a good thing. Can you still see that? Yeah, you can. Next, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt. Salt's really not that great for yeast, but yeah. And I'm going to start adding some of these dry ingredients. I'm using 7 cups of all-purpose flour. And I'm going to bring it up and just stir it up a little bit. It's down low enough I can just... There. We'll just bring it up and just stir it up a little bit. Now it's good. I'm going to bring over the wet ingredients and then we'll start working with that. Okay, now we're going to mix up the wet ingredients. I'm just going to mix it in this big measuring cup and then we'll start adding it to the big bowl. So I'm using 2 cups of warm milk, 1 stick or a half a cup of melted butter. You just mix it in there. And I'm using 4 eggs. Oh, geez, I should have did that a little slower. Splash. And we just mix those together. Suppose it would have been better in a bigger bowl, but whatever. So yeah, Charlie says like you should use room temperature eggs and stuff like that. I forgot to take my eggs out, so they've been sitting out for maybe 45 minutes. But the milk was warm and the butter was warm. So the warm of the liquid is going to help that yeast activate. So now we're going to add this to the dry ingredients. Let me get you situated again. Hold on a second. Okay. Now I'm going to add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. And I just have the mixer turned on low. And remember guys, I said you can do this by hand. No problem. I've only ever done this by hand. This is my first time doing it with the mixer. And he said to mix this for 3 to 4 minutes until it kind of comes together. And it'll be... it's not going to be a whole ball, but it'll come together. So I'll bring you back. I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes. I'm going to stay close anyways, but I'll bring you back when it's together, and I'll let you know how long it took. All right, guys. The timer just went off, and this is how his looked. Like it was still kind of stuck to the bottom, but it's together. That was for 3 minutes, so I think I'll leave it at that because I'm going to put it out on the table and knead it a few times with my hands. So, yeah, I'll get that set up and we'll move over to the table. Alright, we're at the table now. And I just washed my hands thoroughly, so you can see. I took my thumb ring off. That's the only piece of jewelry I wear. And, like Charlie said, this dough isn't, it's not like a dry dough, but it's not really sticking to my hands like a bread dough would until you got it good and floured. So I'm gonna flour the table a bit. And it's really, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like it's a cookie dough, but it's not. I think it's because of the eggs and stuff. But, oh, I think Mr. Mays is coming out here. But I'm gonna get a spoon and try to scrape the rest of that out. Oh, baby. You gonna help me make rolls today?
Yeah.
For those who haven't met Mr. Mays, he just turned 2 in February. I have 6 children, for anybody that's new. He's my youngest, but sometimes we have other extra little bundles of joy here for a temporary amount of time. So we do have another little one here. still snoozing. He's not feeling very good. But anyways, Mr. Mays is here, and he helps me in the kitchen a lot. Okay, so what he said, he only needs it about 10 times. I'm going to need it just a little bit longer because I didn't do it as long in the stand mixer as he did. But like I said, I like to feel my dough in my other bread videos. I like to be able to feel and feel how it comes together. It just feels better to me. And yeah, that's good. So I'm going to put it in a ball, like he said. You have to do this with finished coffee bread too. Put it in a ball, and we're just going to let it sit for 10 minutes. I'm going to put the timer on 10 minutes, and then we'll be back and start making the rolls, and we'll have to let them do a second rise, but I'll bring you back. I'm going to set my timer, but I'll bring you right back. Okay, the timer just went off, and I brought out 2 pans. Yeah, I know, I pick my battles, guys, if you watch my other videos. And I'm going to spray these pans. This is how it was on sale. It's vegetable cooking spray. So I'll spray that now. And I forget if I'll need more than 2 pans or not, but I got more. We get those big stacks of those pans. I think they're only 5 something at the Costco whenever somebody goes up. So it didn't rise very much. It's almost like it lets the gluten and the stuff in the dough to, I don't know, activate and rest a bit too. So I'm just going to cut this into 4, because his recipe, he just cuts it in half because it's a single recipe. But I'm doing a double recipe, so I'm going to see how even I can get this. I'm never perfect, but it's all going to be rolls, so it doesn't really matter. You can use a knife. He used a knife. I just have one of these little things, and I find it's easier for me to do that. And yeah, I'm doing this right on my table. This is Mabel the table, for those that haven't seen my other videos. And she is a lovely table. We got her from my mother-in-law, and we named her Mabel. And she's nicked up and scarred up, but like I said, they're like laugh lines in a person. She's seen lots of love. She shared lots of meals with my family, and anyways, yeah. She's beautiful to us. Okay. So, let me just put a little more flour here. I have to get my recipe. I'll be right back. Make sure I do this right. Okay, I just had to check that because it's been a while since I made them. So each one of these things, we should get at least 8 rolls out of them. Or that's what he did anyways. So we're going to form this into a ball. And I'm just kind of pulling the sides down and tucking them under. So, what he did, again, he used a knife, but use what works for you. We're going to cut this in half. This is what this, and yeah, some of them might not be exactly the same. I'm not that meticulous, and neither is my family. So now I'm going to do it with the rest of these, but what I've learned, and it took me a long time to know how to do this. Let's see if I can bring it up. I'm just pulling the sides down and tucking them under. Pull it down, tuck it under. Pull it down, tuck it under. And that's what we do. So, just like a mushroom cap, I guess. And we're going to put it right there. So, hi guys. Sorry, my memory was full on that camera that I had, and I just looked at it and it's kind of fuzzy. I apologize. So I'm going to use my Vado the rest of this video. So we just left off. I divided one of these balls of dough into 8. And there's one ball there. So I'm going to finish doing these ones, and then we'll be back. So I'll just make sure I speak a little louder, because that was the issue with this camera. I had to speak really loud, or there's Mr. Maze. I got to get him off the table. Say hi, Maze. Hi. Hi. Anyways, I'll be back. Alright guys, it's all ready to rock and roll. We have lots of buns here for tonight. I'm making corn chowder to go along with it, or I'm making buns to go along with the corn chowder, however you want to put it. But we're going to have lots of nice hot toasty buns when it comes time. The kids are at school. I still have 3 kids home, but I have 3 kids at school. And yeah, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to spray this very lightly, just with a little bit of more vegetable oil, and I'm going to cover the pans with a clean tea towel. I'm going to put the pans in the oven with just the oven light on. I'm not turning the oven on, but it'll make it warm enough in there for these to rise. And we're going to let them rise for 45 minutes, and then we'll be back. So yeah, I'll show you what the next step is. This is so easy, and they're so good. They really are. So I'll be right back. Alright, the timer went off, so they rose a little bit, and they'll rise a little more as they bake. I could have squished probably all of the buns into the 2 pans, but I like them easy to pull apart and stuff like that. But we're going to preheat the oven to 365 degrees, and when that's ready to rock, I'm going to put them in the oven, and we're supposed to bake them for 20 minutes, and I'll bring you back. Alright, the oven's preheated, so I'm about to put these 2 pans in the oven, and then after I'll do that little bread pan. So my stove's a mess right now, but it's at 365. And I forget if I mentioned it in this video, I'm not sure, but we're going to have these rolls with corn chowder tonight for supper. And I will put a link down in the description. So if you want to check out how we make corn chowder in my house, yeah, check out that link below. So I'm going to set this. He says you're supposed to bake it for 20 minutes. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes and then rotate the pans around. And then I'll set it for the other 10 minutes, and then we'll see what it looks like. Alright, the buzzer is just going off now, and they're looking good. You can see that they rose a little bit more. When I say I'm just rotating the pans, I'm doing this one-handed because I can't figure out, sugar, my new camera yet, and I know this is wobbly, so I'm going to do it to the other pan. I just rotate them around and put it in for another 10 minutes. Alright, just took the 2 pans out of the oven. It just went off. I'm going to bring them over to the table and put them on cooling racks, and then we're going to glaze them with butter, so hold your horses. Alright, I should have said this in the beginning. We'll need a little more butter to glaze the buns, but I just stick it in the microwave for about 40 seconds, and yeah, it's good to go. I know I have a tabletop tripod that my little Vado sits on, but I can't seem to find it right now, so I'm trying to keep the shaking to a minimum. But I don't think that camera's picking it up, but the steam is just rolling off of these buns. So I'm going to cover, after I get done buttering these, I don't think he does it, but I'm going to cover these pans with those tea towels again, just to keep the moisture in. And what he does too, Misha, don't, because that'll fall over. He injects these buns with some more butter. I don't have an injector, so I'm not going to do that. But I can just imagine how buttery and good these buns would be like that. But these are good without doing that too, don't get me wrong. These will be gone by tonight, I'm not even joking. With all the kids, they'll eat these up. And we're actually having some more family over tonight. So yeah, everybody's going to be able to enjoy these. So it'll be perfect. But the other one is still in the oven. And when that one comes out, we'll do a little taste test after. But these ones I'm going to save for supper. So I'll cover these, and we'll wait for the buzzer to go off again. Don't those look beautiful? I'll take a picture of them and insert it right here. But just so you can see, I know this camera doesn't pick stuff up as good as some cameras, but I'm working on it, guys. I'm saving my nickels and dimes. I'll get a real good camera one of these days. So, alright, wait for the buzzer. Okay, that's the last pan. So we'll take this out of the oven. Ooh, it looks good. Looking good. This toast smells so good. If you like the smell of fresh bread, oh wow, it's great. So I'm just gonna, let me grab this. Again, I apologize, guys. I need to get myself a little more sorted, but I'm wiggling and jiggling today. Let's just do these ones up. Oh, I hear it actually sizzling on the pan because the pan's still hot. Ooh, that's nice though. I'll let the kids have a bun when they get home from school in a couple of hours. And the rest we'll save for supper. I like to have some taste testers in my videos. Not all the kids want to be in videos, or sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I know I haven't caught any of my big kids. They're very supportive of me, but they don't want to, you know, be the taste testers, which is okay. I plan on doing this for a long time, so they'll warm up to the idea. Right, Misha? Misha likes being a taste tester. So I'm just going to cover that. See, I put it in a tea towel. That's just flour on the towel. And there. We'll let that sit, and when it's time to have a bun, we'll sit down together. Oh, Misha just had to come down and show me. She is the biggest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. I know, I'm not even joking. And she has the old school ones. Oh yeah. What's their names, Mish?
Leo, Donnie, Raph, Mikey.
Oh, which one's your favorite? Oh, which one is that, Mikey? Donnie? Raph?
I like him too.
You do, yeah. They're all pretty cool, aren't they? Alright, are they going to have some buns after? Yeah, okay. Alright, Miss Mally got home from school and she helped herself to a bun. She opened it and buttered it, so I didn't get a chance to see that. But she's going to be our taste tester.
It's really, really good.
It's really good. So is that thumbs up then? Awesome. Alright, thanks Mally. Say see you later to everybody.
Goodbye.
Alright, this is Tracy and Mally signing off from Nova Scotia Living. Thanks for joining us today. And yeah, check out the corn chowder video in the link below. And we'll see what we can mix up tomorrow. Alright, bye.